far would you go for your faith? Would you die for what you believe in? That question has been asked of many Christians lately by the terrorist group ISIS, and those Christians have answered with their lives. Today I'm going to share with you who ISIS is, why they are doing these unspeakable acts, and some things that are being done in an attempt to stop them. First, who is ISIS? They were originally an Al-Qaeda group called ISI, which stands for the Islamic State of Iraq, and they have been in force since 1999. In April of 2013, ISI gained control of Syria and became ISIS, or ISIS. But as they quickly continued to gain territory into the Levant area, they became ISIL. An article by Mark Tran of The Guardian reports that Al-Qaeda disavowed connections to ISIL because even Al-Qaeda felt the tactics that they used were too extreme, brutal, and unpredictable. Although most continue to refer to them as ISIS, on June 29, 2014, ISIL officially dropped the last two letters of their name and became known simply as IS, for Islamic State, because they felt that they had achieved their ultimate goal and declared themselves a caliphate. According to a Time magazine website article by Carl Vick, caliphate is a governing body that claims dominion over all Muslim believers. However, in another article posted on KubarSouthAsia.com, it says that many Muslims across Asia have rejected this claim, stating that their violent tactics go against the fundamentals of Islam and are a serious crime. Because of their violent acts and beheadings of innocent victims, including children, ISIS has now been deemed a terrorist group by at least 15 countries and organizations such as the United Nations and the European Union. So why do they do these things? Well, in a manifesto published by ISIS the day that it claimed caliphate, they stated that they believe that their God, Allah, is instructing them to rid the world of all infidels or people who will refuse to convert to the Muslim faith. America is seen as an enemy to Allah because of our presence in the Gulf Wars. In an email from ISIS to the parents of James Foley, an American journalist who was killed by ISIS last year, they were quoted in an NBC News website saying that their actions were taken directly as a result of American transgressions towards them, and they have vowed to not stop until they quench their thirst for our blood. Is there anything that can be done to stop ISIS from committing these heinous crimes? Well, on February 11, 2015, President Obama requested authorization from Congress to use military support in its campaign against ISIS, which includes ISIS and associated persons. Basically, anyone in hostilities with the United States or its coalition partners will be targeted. According to an article on the CBC World News website, it states that there will be no geographic limits for the battleground. Ground troops will be limited by banning enduring offensive ground troop operations, and military authorization will expire in 3 years unless it's renewed by the Congress. Also, on March 3, 2015, an article on ChristianPost.com tells of a group started by by Army veterans that is now recruiting U.S. soldiers to join in the fight against ISIS. Applicants who wish to join the group will undergo a screening process and must have a minimum of 4 years prior military experience. They will participate in additional training before heading to the Mideast. So as you can see, ISIL, ISIS, or ICE, whichever acronym you choose to identify them with, this is a group of Muslims who are following their beliefs and committing acts that they believe are pleasing to their God Allah. Although they are committing these acts in the name of their God, they cannot be allowed to continue to kill innocent victims. The United States and its allies must stand together in fighting and conquering this terrorist group. Just as I do not approve of my children resorting to violence to settle an argument, I am convinced that God would not approve of this violence between his children either. Thank you.